The friendly debate between Tonks and Grenog Jones leads to you three to create the first ever Hogwarts trivia competition, pitting current students against former students to prove who knows more about your beloved school. Rally with your team of friends to take on the former student team and own yourself a unique Hogwarts trivia sweatshirt. Oh, I just left. I said, never mind. Did you see her? That player's the hope of the Holyhead Hoppy she is. You wanted to see me? Watch you. Thanks for coming so quickly. She could leave at any moment. Who? Grenog Jones, of course, of the Holyhead Hoppies. I got word she was here, and there she is. She's one of the best in the league, and she doesn't take any bosh from anyone. I'm just dying to meet her. Since you and she playing the rally to save the Dragon Club, that's where I knew her. I knew I'd seen her somewhere. Perhaps you can introduce me. I'd be happy to help. If it isn't Darkos, I hope you haven't encountered any rogue bludgers since we saved the Dragon Club. It's actually quite fortuitous that I should bump into a couple of Hogwarts students here. Why is that? I've been reminiscing about my time at Hogwarts. Those were some of the best years of my life. I explored every inch of the castle. I graduated thinking I knew it better than the back of my beater's bat. I suppose every former student feels the same. After all, we all know Hogwarts better than just about anyone. You don't agree, Tonks? You clearly have something in mind. No offense, but I'd say it's current Hogwarts students who know Hogwarts better than anyone. Think about it. We live there. We study it all day, every day. No one could know it better than us. But former students have completed our education, and we have the benefit of hindsight and experience. Perhaps so, but I'm right. I like your style, but I wouldn't say you have proved your case just yet. Why don't we make it a friendly debate? Present your arguments. We'll see who makes the stronger case. Alright, I've heard your arguments, and they are both quite compelling. This is not an easy call to make, but while you were debating, said something that had the ring of truth to it. You can't honestly think former students know Hogwarts better than current students. What Grenog said was, we can't know for certain unless we put it to the test. An argument, one thing, but in a situation like this, we need real proof to make the final call. I'm not exactly sure how we are supposed to get that. Something like that. And what if we held a competition of Hogwarts trivia, current students versus former students? Whoever proves themselves to know more about Hogwarts gets bragging rights for 100 years. Or until we hold the next competition. That would be brilliant. I love you. Proper contest. Perhaps we could even make it a quite official and hold the competition at Hogwarts. Have fun. I don't see why not. If we bring that idea to Dumbledore together and he approves, the game is on. Wonderful. What a brilliant excuse to visit my old beloved castle home. How fortunate you two approached me while I was having a drink. Most people in the village just hurry past, stealing glances at me. Perhaps they think I'm too intimidating. You are quite intimidating. Even though you have always been nice to me, we could only approach you if we came together. You can rest assured of our friendship now. You are always welcome to come over and say hello. It seems the games have already begun. Let's hurry to Dumbledore. Thank you for agreeing to meet with us. So, we have an exciting idea we hope to run by you. It's not every day I'm asked to meet with two of our most promising students and the great Grednog Jones. We're debating who knows Hogwarts better, current or former students. That's only not an easy question to answer. That's why we are here. We decided we couldn't definitely answer the question with the debates, and we want to put it to a test. I propose we hold a competition of Hogwarts trivia, pitting current students against former students. We are here to see if you may let us make it official and hold the competition at Hogwarts. I think it's a marvelous idea. Not only will students get a chance to learn more about Hogwarts, they will get to meet several illustrious former students and see the different paths available after graduation. We'll get started right away. Before we can put this plan in motion, we must first determine the details of the... Brilliant, I think we have got the details of the competition well figured out. 2 teams of 5 will face each other in 3 rounds of Hogwarts trivia. Each round will feature one question focusing on a different area of Hogwarts. To keep things balanced, both teams should include members of all 4 Hogwarts houses. That way, the 4 houses will have to work together. Between each round, I'll announce the focus of the next question so each team can prepare. All we need to do now is determine the team captains who can pick the teams. Since the debate originated from them, perhaps Tonks and Grennog should be the team captains. It is you. I hope you'll join us. Count me in. A student team wouldn't be far without one of Hogwarts' most celebrated students. As for the rest, we'd better talk to everyone who's interested and narrow down the list. Wish you all the best of luck. Now, I'll see you again at the start of the competition. Before we get started, I need your honest opinion. I'm confident that current students have a shot, but it's hard to know just how confident I should be. There are some really great, talented former Hogwarts students. Picks a team well, we could be in trouble, so I'm confident, but I don't want to be overconfident. But given your honest opinion, who has the advantage right now? I think the former students have the advantage. Current students have a lot left to learn. Former students have graduated and they have a lot more experience. I'm not sure, but you're right. We don't want to be overconfident. It won't be easy. Thanks for your honesty. If we build a perfect team and study hard, we might just be able to tip the scales. So let's get to work on our team. I can't wait to hear all the details of the competition. Don't be surprised to see me here. Thanks for meeting all of us. Has agreed to let us hold a Hogwarts trivia competition at our castle. We need to form an unstoppable student team. That way we can defeat the foremost student team and prove we know Hogwarts better than anyone. I'm tasked with assembling a 5-person team, including one representative of each house. We ask you to meet us here because you are some of Hogwarts' finest and you are all expressed interest. Which means we need to get started soon. There isn't much time before the competition begins, so let's hear from each of you. Alright, after hearing from you all, our student team is starting to take shape. Penny will be occupied this week with potions project, so she can't join us. Warren thinks he'll do better as a study coach. I'm sorry to hear that, but it leaves us with quite a few solid options. Ben will make a great addition to the team. He's hardworking and extremely proficient at charms. Speaking of hardworking, Andre will help round out the team quite nicely. He knows everything about Quidditch and fashion, so we will have those topics covered. So with both of us plus Ben and Andre, we have full team members. We only need one more. That's right, and I think I know the perfect candidate for our fifth. What do you think of that idea? Mila will be great. She's tough and she's one of the highest achieving students academically. And while I don't love the idea of taking time out of my busy schedule to save this team chance against former students, you'll need me. Brilliant. Not then settled with Mila on our team. We have 5 members with at least 1 member from each of our house. That means it's nearly time to start the competition. I'll go see Grenog. Finished assembling the whole team? If so, begin the Hogwarts trivia competition. I have good news. We just finished picking our student team for the trivia. If you're ready, we can begin. That's great. Is something wrong? Let's just discuss that in a moment. I need to clear my head first. It's always a bit overwhelming to revisit the pitch that helped forge the Quidditch player I am today. From what I hear, it's forging created a Quidditch player in you. You have got a reputation already. I'd be curious to see for myself. How would you feel about joining me for some flying practice? Excited, of course. It's not every day a young wizard gets to fly with you. Brilliant. I was hoping you'd say that. Nothing clears my head like a bit of flying. We can talk about what's on my mind while you show me what you have got. Thanks for flying with me. It's always easier to talk when I'm on a boom. I can see why you were excited to fly with me. If I were you, I'd want to show off these skills as well. We were flying so fast, it was a bit hard to hear what you were saying. You feel you're at a disadvantage when it comes to building your trivia team. Knows more about Hogwarts, but my teammate options are slim, and you and Tonks have a whole school of students to choose from. Finding foremost students who have the time and interest to join a trivia team is going to be a bit more difficult. I'm sure I could help you find a few worthy teammates. I didn't mean to invite you out to you just to ask if you could help the other team. This should be fun and fair for all of us, so I'm happy to help. I was just about to try and catch Lucius Malfoy outside of the Hog's Head Inn. Perhaps you can come with me to Hogsmeade and help me cover more ground. While there are many things one can say about Lucius, calling him unintelligent isn't one of them. I won't stand in your way, so let's go. With any luck, we'll have your formal student team secured in no time. To keep the Hogwarts trivia competition fair and fun, you agree to help Jones find former students. Sorry, but I can't talk right now. Hogwarts? No, I went to Ivy Moly. Plenty of customers here. I'm sure at least some of them are former Hogwarts students. I should be able to find a teammate for Grenog's former student team without much trouble. Hey, Lucius. Oh no, that's Zeno's. You there, lend me your ear. I'm an editor of a newspaper, and I'm sure you're familiar with the Quibbler. It's a pleasure to meet you. The pleasure's all mine. And I need an honest opinion. And you'd be surprised how hard they are to come. Someone just said that if an article appears in the Quibbler, that means it isn't fit to print. It's exactly the point. The Quibbler's unique content should be available anywhere else. Perhaps the criticism was actually meant as a compliment. Perhaps it was. Some people just have a surprising way of wording things. Surprising wordings. The truth is always a bit strange, I'd say. Thank you for your honesty. I'm glad I could help, so it's not always easy being in the public eye. For even during my time at Hogwarts, I was occasionally subject to the odd sideline glance. Then you'd be a perfect addition to Grenard Jones' team. We are playing in a trivia contest to prove who knows more about Hogwarts. We're pitting former students against current students. That all sounds quite enjoyable, but perhaps I should focus instead on improving the Cribbler's reputation. Winning this trivia contest could improve my journalistic reputation. If the world sees my grasp of facts, perhaps they will more easily accept the explosive stories in our pages. We still need a few more team members before the competition can begin, but we are off to a great start. Perhaps I could be of assistance. Bilton Blimes is a former Hogwarts student and quite a bit to Hufflepuff, I may add. You'll find him behind the counter at Zonkers, of course. I'll hurry over to Zonkers now and talk to Bilton Blimes. I hope I'm not interrupting. I'm looking for former Hogwarts students to compete in a contest of Hogwarts trivia at our beloved school. Xenophilius Lovegood just agreed to participate, and he thought I may have some luck with you. But please keep your voice down. I'm afraid I can't do much of anything fun until I find the frisbees. And a particularly vicious batch at that. A customer knocked them out of the boxes, and they have been terrorizing the shop ever since. They are hiding now, but these frisbees aren't anything to joke about, so you'd better find a safe place to hide. I'll help you with the faint frisbees problem. You'll be free to join us. I wouldn't want to see you get hurt. Then again, perhaps I have no choice but to take you up on that deal. Because there's no time to run, they have found us. Don't worry, we'll take on these devious discs together. Wands up. And this is our chance to subdue cast Flipindo. I'll see what I can do. Flipindo. You gave those faint frisbees what for? I think you got them all. That's certainly not the experience I intended for Zonkers to offer young students. That wasn't too terrifying for you. Are you kidding? That was fun. Well, I'm glad at least someone enjoyed it. I need to check the settings on those blood-sucking fiends. That is not the way we normally do things here at Zonkers. Does that mean you'll join Grenog's former student trivia team? Of course, it's always nice to have an excuse to visit Hogwarts. I learned all my best jokes there. That means we're almost done building Grenog's team. If home meeting at Hog's Head went well, she'll only have one more teammate. I better hurry there now and see how things are going. The trivia competition can begin. Damn, look at all those people. So had any luck with Lucius Malfoy, she'll need one more member of her trivia team. can officially begin. There they are. You just in time. I'm having a bit of trouble convincing Mr. Malfoy to join the team. Was just saying what an essential addition to the former students team I would be. And while I agree with that, I'm afraid someone of my stature can't occupy his time with such silly pursuits. I see. I'm afraid there's nothing you could say to convince me. This may never be in a serious pursuit to a man of your stature, but there are other potential benefits, and this may never be what? When Mr. Lovegood and Mr. Blimes agreed to participate, they were just excited to visit Hogwarts again. Perhaps some part of you feels the same way. I can just visit Hogwarts anytime I like. You may recall when I visited for a surprise inspection with my son Draco. Perhaps seeing Hogwarts again isn't the right angle, but if you'll talk to me for a moment, I'm sure I can find something about this contest. Your resistance comes from the ill-founded notion that students today are less informed than before. You don't think we stand a chance against you. We all know the educational demands of Hogwarts have gone downhill since my time there. It wouldn't be sporting for me to join a team of former students and receive a superior education. I suppose there's nothing more I can do. With Mr. Malfoy on your team, it may have been a fair contest, but he won't budge. As far as the students go, our best and brightest were eager to join up and demonstrate their intellect. We have assembled quite a team, and I'm afraid the former students are doomed of embarrassment. The former students may be setting ourselves up for humiliations. I'll be there, if only to put these unruly students in their place. I think you did. You just goaded Lucius Malfoy into joining my trivia team. Honestly, did you really mean all that about current students being superior to former students? It was just a tactic. I knew a bit of golden was the only way through a wizard like that. If you bring that same level of cunning to the trivia contest, you are sure to make a fierce competition. With Lucius as my Slytherin, I have a Hufflepuff and built-in and a Ravenclaw and Zeno. I just need a Gryffindor. Thanks to you, we'll be able to start in no time. You have really helped me out. It's my pleasure. After all, we just wanted the competition to be fair and fun for everyone. It was the least I could do to make sure you had a balanced team. You have done it. I only need one more teammate, and I'm confident I can find them on my own. You can head back to Hogwarts to meet me with your team. Now we better get started. I hope you are ready to study. Hello everyone, I have just come from helping Goodnow Jones find her teammates. She nearly has all former students she needs. I hope you haven't been waiting long. I just heard about the first round of the contest from Dumbledore. The first question will focus on Hogwarts founders, so I have gathered every book I could find on this subject. Then let's start studying. Alright, I've read so much about Hogwarts founders, I could probably write my own book on them. Then, if you feel ready, let's see how you do with practice discussion. What special skill does Salazar's Slytherin prize in the students he handpicked? I knew it, but I thought that was just a skill he prized himself in, because none of the other students really could speak it, no? Parcel tongue, yes, I know that if we are going to win this, we all need to pay attention. Artifact associated with one of the house founders. Oh, with the one. And so the Gryffindor is a Yes, I know. So I'd say we have a lot more work to do. We have to be able to rely on one another out there. Yes, yes, yes. Shut the freak up. Because so far she's got Zeno, Built-in, and Lucius. Why is that? Zeno's a great raider, but not always a strict adherent to the facts. Malfoy, smart as he isn't much of a team player. From what you're saying, I think we have a good chance of winning this. The Hogwarts trivia competition can't begin until Grennog finds a Gryffindor to complete her team. If Grennog Jones is looking for a Gryffindor to join her former student team, I could certainly help. That's not fair, you're a professor. It would be a shame to see the contest stall because Jones couldn't find the proper balance. To overhear you discussing Miss Jones' search for a teammate. Now we are up against Professor McGonagall, but she's also a teacher, which means she spends just as much time in the castle as we do, if not more. But we have still got a strong team. We have studied just about as much as anyone. Perhaps we can win this. Oh, I didn't read part 3, but part 3. Complete round 1. Don't screw this up. We are counting on you. Don't forget what we studied. You know everything you need to know. Hello everyone and welcome to the first U Hogwarts Trivia. A select group of students from each house will challenge our illustrious former student team. And finally, please welcome the captain of the former student team, Jones, of the Holyhead Harpies. Write your answers on the enchanted parchment before you, which will reveal them to me. I will reveal the correct answer and announce the current scores. Now let's begin. For 1 point, name each artifact and the founder associated with it. Based on our discussion, it seems like we are confident in at least 3 of our 4 artifacts. We know that Ravenclaw's diadem, so the Gryffindor and Hufflepuff's cup, but what we disagree slightly on is Slytherin's artifact. At least I think it is. Those words just keep popping into my head. I knew it before we got here, but now that the pressure is on, I'm honestly not sure. Lockets and Andre says Slytherin's cloak. It's the locket, 4th artifact. I can't believe I thought it was a sash. I just received the student's team's answer, which means all answers have been submitted. The former student team answered way faster. The 4 priceless artifacts associated with each house founder, Helga Hufflepuff's, and Slytherin's lockets. We did it, we got it right. I have consulted your answers. I can present the 1 and the scores. This round was worth 1 point. Both teams answered correctly, so they will head into round 2 tied with 1 point each. Brilliant, we are in great shape. We are off to an interesting start, but it's anyone's game. Well, 2 points, and it'll take easy, so come prepared. I'll see you all back here soon. We have our work cut out for us, but we can still win this if we stay focused. Let's regroup at the 3 broomsticks. Oh. Thanks to all that studying, we know more about the Hogwarts ghost than we ever did. Then it's time to put that knowledge to the test. Given that you saved our team and chose the right answer in the first round, I'd wager you'll do great. But we can't be too careful. The round is worth twice as many points as last time. If we get it wrong, we could fall way behind, so we need to get this right. As noticeable as she is, the Grey Lady is the daughter of another much celebrated witch. Who is she? Ravenclaw. That's correct. You're off to a great start. Let's try another. Served in the court of which kin? I don't know. Oh, 6. Brilliant job. Nearly time for the next round, which means our practice session should come to an end. If before we do, I'll go check on the former student team and see how they are settling in. Leave me be. Mr. Lovegood has been teaching me some rather tentative gobstone strategies. I was just thinking of you. I trust everything's going well with you and your team. Yes, we have been studying the Hogwarts Ghost for the next trivia round. And see how all you all were settling in now that you are back at Hogwarts. I've been waiting to thank you for what exactly. Take a look around. Not only has the trivia contest been a huge success, the former student team seems to be regressing, acting just like they did as students. They do look like a bit like students. We are even been reminiscing about old times. Miss McGonagall and I were just swapping stories. Reward for helping me pull together such a great team. I could share our student stories with you. Hearing those old Hogwarts stories has given me a new perspective on all of you. It's quite curious to think Professor McGonagall was a competitive Quidditch player. And how charming to think of Mr. Lovegood falling in love right here in this fairy courtyard. Mr. Malfoy expressed affection for anyone, let alone a former caretaker. Particularly fondness for the hands-on methods deployed by Apollyon Pringle. He was the caretaker before Flinch, and from what I've heard, we are better off without him. Hearing all of your stories, it seems you all weren't that different from my friends and me. We learned a great deal, but we had adventures and got into trouble with our friends, just like you. It's, in fact, looking back, it's hard to say which part of our Hogwarts experience was the most important. What about you? What's the most important part of your Hogwarts experience? The adventures are the most important. We have been dealing with some quite heavy stuff lately. Nothing else can compare. Adventures are where the strength of your skills and characters truly forge. Thanks for coming by to talk with me. I just wanted to thank you before the next round begins. Whatever happens out there, you have given us all one more Hogwarts memory to cherish. We owe you. Thanks for sharing those stories with me. Perhaps one of them will come in handy later. But for now, we had better hurry to the Great Hall. Compete round 2. Just remember that we studied. Everyone settle in. We'll begin soon. Hope you're ready. This round will decide our fate. You got practice questions right, so I'm feeling quite confident. We will see how it goes. Welcome to the second round of our full set of Hogwarts trivia competition. Both teams are currently tied with 1 point each. Trust you have all come prepared. This round is worth 2 points, and it will focus on Hogwarts ghosts. Each of our beloved ghosts and led a noteworthy life. One even served as a co-tool to a kin. Unfortunately, this ghost was executed after failing to fix the teeth of a renowned lady in waiting. For 2 points, name the ghost, the kin he served, the lady, and the you of this ghost, unfortunate end. Alright, team, we have our question. Let's discuss it. After all that discussion, I think we have nearly got all 4 parts of the answer. We know nearly Headless Nick was a koto for Henry's coat, and he was executed after bungling an attempt at orthodontics for Lady Grieve, but we can't figure out what year. Shit. That is the question. So, it's not 1937. I'll go with the middle one. That sounds what? Let's go with that. Alright, I'll write it on the enchanted parchment and submit our answer. I have received the Cone student team's answer, but I'm still waiting on the formal team. We got our answer in before the formal students. They must not be as certain as this time around. If you insist, we'll go with that. It looks like things have taken a bit of a turn on the formal student team. I've now received the submissions from both teams, and we'll reveal the answer. Henry VIII, coat, the unfortunate lady in waiting was Lady Grieve, and the U was 1492. Both teams answered the question correctly. Counting for this round's points, here are the Cones team stands. Another tie. Both teams have 3 points. It is still anyone's game. The third and final round, our most challenging, will be worth 4 points. It seems the contest will be decided in the final round. We still have a shot at winning. Given the importance of the final round, I will need a moment to collect my thoughts before we continue. I'll have both teams meet me in the courtyard. I will reveal the theme of the third and final round of the first ever Hogwarts trivia contest. Will you and your friends prove that the Cone students know more about Hogwarts? You may want to check in with your team. Rivalry is in my style. We have been raiding. Turns out some people can't take a little friendly tease, and thought we were just gathering to hear the focus for the third round of the Hogwarts trivia. After you tied up the scores, I felt some trash talking was in order. They didn't take it all that well, and let's just say tensions rose from there. When Tonks invited you onto the team, I said you'd be a great addition, and this is how you would pay me. A lot of trash talking is an essential part of a successful competition, even you can admit it. Trash talking is not essential. We can have a fun competition without being antagonistic. Everyone else agrees with you. This was the one crowd for a roast. Everyone's out of sorts now. If I'll talk to the team, Round 3 will be the most challenging yet. We need a united front. Thanks for talking to everyone and helping us get back on the same page. Everyone's sort of claimed up after Mila tried to psych out the other team. I'm sure everyone's on edge as we prepare for the final round. I'm glad I could help. Speaking of the final round, here comes Dumbledore. Theme for the final round. The theme is history of Hogwarts. I'll tell you now, it won't be easy, but I hope it is not to follow those stuck contention between the generations. I hope you will be inspired to learn alongside one another. History of Hogwarts, that could mean anything. Hogwarts has been around for centuries. He can't expect us to learn every single thing. I don't know, but I'm starting to understand why this round is worth 4 points. We suddenly have our work cut out for us, but let's try and be smart about it. We may be missing something. Let's regroup somewhere private and discuss the theme. I feel completely rejuvenated. Alright team, thanks for meeting me up. We have got a lot left to do if we hope to win this trivia competition. After 2 rounds we are still tied, but this is our chance to beat the former students. The problem is we don't know what to study. He said to focus around round 3 was the history of Hogwarts, but we can't memorize centuries of history. Think about what Dumbledore said and figure out what we are missing something. No, I think he's not. I don't think he's messing with us. There must be a hint hidden somewhere. Suppose you're right. Dumbledore's quite clever, and he's always got something up his sleeve. Let's put our heads together. After all that discussion, I may have discovered the clue we are so looking for. Thought not necessarily what it means. We all noticed that Dumbledore's awkwardly phrased this round theme when he presented it. It's a bit odd to say history of magic, Hogwarts, rather than the history of Hogwarts. It's not like Hogwarts has multiple histories. That's got to be a clue. I thought he was just messing with us, but you will wait to say he was hinting at something. Might have been referencing the book title. Think about it, if you move the A in the phrase, it suddenly becomes the title of a quite popular book. A history of Hogwarts instead of the history of Hogwarts. He might be hinting at Hogwarts history. If the study Hilda Bagshot's book, we may just find the answer. I knew you would make a great addition to the team. If the other team hasn't figured this out, this clue could be enough to help us take the lead. Don't get too sloppy about it. Let's hurry to the library. You think Hogwarts history would be easy to find? Hogwarts history is quite popular. I cracked Dumbledore's secret code. You expect me to go look for it? We are looking for a copy of History of Hogwarts history for the students' trivia team. May have been hinting that we would find the final round answer in that book, but there has been quite a demand for Hogwarts history lately. All the library's copies were checked out this morning. I'm afraid I can't stay in here all day talking to you about books we don't have. I'm far too busy. We do have one library-only copy, but it's exceedingly rare, first edition. We'll take good care of it, I promise. What do you mean share? As I said, Hogwarts history has been quite on demand today. Blimey, the former student team beat us to it. If you can convince them to share with you, you must promise to do so without damaging the text. You may have just helped us win the competition. I see you have deciphered Dumbledore's clue as well, just not as fast as we did. I was hoping you might share that addition with us, Miss Jones. Why exactly would I share this critical information? Because we agreed this should be fair. It's hardly fair if you hold all the answers. It's not exactly spoken to keep the answers from you. We can share. To be honest, there's more to learn in these pages than we realized. I can't believe they assigned it to the students. We can study the book together and make sure we cover everything. Alright, bring over your team and let's begin. Alright, since both teams were studying together, we were able to review the entire book. Nice work. A lot to keep track of, but we have got notes on every section. Hopefully the answer is in there somewhere. It's good we were so thorough. This is our last chance to break the tie and pull ahead. But now that we are prepared, let's hurry to the Great Hall. Excuse me. Go, current student team, you've got this. Don't worry, I will my lucky socks. Is it time for the final round of Hogwarts Trivia, which, as you all know, is worth 4 points. It's a close game, with both teams currently tied with 3 points. This will be the deciding round. This round is the final and most important round of the contest. Pay close attention and do your best. Hogwarts, he has had many celebrated heroes pass through its halls over the years, but there are those who work equally hard behind the scenes to make Hogwarts such a special place. We have had a long line of illustrious headmasters and headmistresses, but also a long line of caretakers. List the following Hogwarts caretakers in chronological order, starting with the first to serve our beloved school: Apollyon Pringle, Rangerus Cop, Hankerton Humble, and Gladwin Moon. Some of those names do sound familiar. I'm sure we can get this right if we all work together. We have gone over the list countless times. I think then we need to decide on an answer. We know Hankerton Humble was the first caretaker, but there's some disagreement about who came next. I do remember Mr. Malfoy mentioning caretaker when we were talking in the courtyard before. So Pringle must be last on the list. The question is, who was the caretaker after Hankerton? Okay, Rancorous Cape or Gladwin Moon? Oh, what the hell? What the hell? Okay, so it's Gladwin Moon. That sounds right to me. But this is our last shot, winning the trivia contest, so we need to be sure. How certain are you? I'm very certain. You have been great each time so far. I trust you. I'll write down our final answer. I fucked up. Beat us to it. They must have been quite confident. It was Cape. It wasn't Gladwin Moon. For 4 points, here's the correct chronological order. Cap Gladwin Moon. So I fucked up. But what about the foremost students? Broken the streak. Did you hear that? The former students got it wrong. We could win this. The former students end the game with 3 points. The current students team has also submitted an incorrect answer. Both teams end the contest with 3 points. The competition ends in a tie. It means the two teams will so evenly matched. I couldn't even imagine a better ending to this competition. The competition is over, but the day is not done. I have more to reveal. I'm quite proud of all of you. I hope you would take this opportunity to learn alongside one another. An interesting talk with Madam Pince when I was returning all copies of Hogwarts of History. But that doesn't make any sense. We can't study from a book he's checked out every copy of. Pull aside your competitive spirits and learn together. Well done. Each generation will know more after working it together than they ever could on their own. Win or lose, it's worth celebrating, which leads me to the final revelation. Once more, enjoy this victory feast. You have all worked hard and earned it. Well played. You were an exceptional opponent. We tied. We still don't know who knows more about Hogwarts. Perhaps because it's an impossible question to answer, it seems we are evenly matched. Now that the competition is done, it's time to celebrate. Before we do, and I wanted to give you a special gift for all you have done. We got these matching sweatshirts for us. When you wear yours, I hope you'll remember how thankful we are. Of course, it's the least we could do after all you did to make this contest a success. We accomplished so much because we did it together. Let's team up one more time for the day and see who can finish the food first. Well, that was that event. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time and peace.